will try something completely different. We will be shown on how to make a stupid comedy. And here to show us how to make a stupid comedy is Meblo Normal. Thank you. And today I will tell you on how to make a bad movie. First, you must make up a premise that is interesting enough to screw up. And it has to be a good premise, so it'll never be original. In this case, it is a hall pass. And what that does is that it gives married men a week away from marriage in order to sow their wild oats with other women, no questions asked. This sounds like an interesting plot, and it's a comedy, so it's even better, which leads us to our next step. Everyone knows that a good premise must have a strong script, but in this case, it has to have lousiness, it has to be boring, and it has to be unoriginal. And it also has to be stupid, have unlikable characters, and the worst predictability that even a 10-year-old with bad movie taste can offer. And like a premise like Hall Pass, it has to include swearing, nudity, the lowest of hijinks, and a guy who thinks he knows sex, but really he doesn't. The result? The lowest form of American Pie movies. And how to fuck up a good premise by taking a page out of college humor. Now, the premise has to be 98% original, because if it's 100%, it'll be the lowest form of American Pies. And no one wants that, do they? The two main leads in this movie must be comedic actors. In this case, it must be Owen Wilson and Jason Sudeikis. They will play two horny husbands with little to no satisfaction in terms of sex and marriage. The result? Either looking at women or masturbating in their car, in public, instead of their own houses, which is private. Because, God forbid, they get caught, get arrested, and the whole neighborhood knows who they are. But when will that happen? Also, you must make them as unlikable as possible, which concludes sex jokes and hate-filled stupidity. As long as they learn the lesson in the end, which seems forced, everything will be fine. And also, last but not least, suck out what little humor they have. Every movie must have a moral, and in this case it must be forced. So what should we do? Let's make the wives find that it's not the husbands the hall passes are for, but it's for them. Could it get any lamer? Well, watch. Let's have the wives worry about their husbands cheating, and worry about that they are 100% without them. And the husbands? They love their wives so much that they won't cheat and they go back to their spouses. Why not? Do stupid things to find out what your emotions really are. Because there's nothing better than having your marriage into tip-top shape than having your spouse cheat on you. And what about the moral? Let's see. Let your loved ones go with someone else in order to miss them and love them. To me, that is what love and marriage is truly about. Your characters must have the following. They have to be obnoxious, stupid, sex-crazed, obvious cardboard cutouts, and people we've seen over and over and over and over and over and over again. And also, they must have no character development whatsoever. And not much to talk about after this. And that is how you make a stupid comedy. Thanks! I've learned so much! Well, I'm glad to help. Will you be here for our next review? Well, if you would have me. In fact, I have the next movie that has to be reviewed right here in this piece of paper. Now, let's see what it has to be. What's wrong? It can't be that bad.